Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I'm your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me today. Well, it's Friday. Yay, it's Friday. We're excited. We survived the week. We sinned safely. We did lots of sinning and blaspheming. Yay. Normally, I'm a little more cheerful on the Friday. Yesterday, I try to keep the show light, but things in the world. So we talk about those things. You know how it is. I mean, they affect us. Right now, of course, if you're aware, there's everything going on in the USA with Donald Trump and the uprisings and all that going on across the country. And then also now, Iran is under attack from Israel, open attack. And so I can't imagine that de-escalating soon. It's just, one of those things. Now, part of the deal is that Donald Trump was using the riots to distract from the Elon Musk and the Epstein thing. Of course, he has his other plans too. I just know he's dying to declare martial law. But now he's got this other distraction for us is Israel and Iran. Because, at first he was, what I saw, he was like, we didn't know that was going to happen. Hope they can resolve it soon or whatever. And then later on, he's like, oh, hey, that was excellent. That's a great idea. That's great, And I think he's going to help escalate that to distract from what's going on here, Anyway, we're going to talk about those things, and hopefully we'll find some time to shine and be a little funny, maybe. But we'll see. I don't have a lot of hope. We'll be back. Well, Rion Cultastic is here somewhere. She's hiding in the back. We'll be back.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are ConspiraWin. ConspiraWin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. ConspiraWin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and ConspiraWin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. ConspiraWin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with ConspiraWin.
Well, hello, all you wonderful people. I have got my co-host, Rion, with me this morning. I hope you all had a great week. Hi, Rion. How's it going?
Ba, ba, ba. Oh,
That's awesome.
living the dream here in America.
There you go.
American dream, Chris. Well, what more could I ask for?
Oppressing the poor?
Yeah,
Is that what you've been doing?
All my rights. Yes. Yeah, I'm just looking for a lower class that I can put my foot on.
I appreciate it. Lead by example.
As you do.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. John Hudson is here. The quadratet, I guess we could say. Anyway, good morning, John. I saw your little live post this morning. You're right. Everything you said this morning was right. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Secular Feelinist, nice choker. How did you find out? Oh, you mean her necklace?
Hardly know her.
Hardly ever gets her. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Cryptic Peptide, Wake and Bake.
Indeed.
Truth. Raven Lunatic, where have you been? The chat has been silent. There has been less funny going on in the chat.
Who's here?
You can't. Raven Lunatic.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
I know.
Top of the morning to you.
You don't get to just go away.
Or should I say down, bottom of the morning to you?
You think that's right? You should.
He's down under. He's down under.
He is. Like this, some kind of free country or some bullshit. Good morning, John the Heretic. Thank you for joining us. Simply Secular Dave, thank you for joining us this morning. Maybe I keep noticing your posts via Discord. After the show, I would not be against rating the stream of that other individual. Don't know his name. There's another guy, Simply Secular Dave, has been like, hey, man, you should send your people over to here. And he sits there and plays video games. I mean, it's kind of, I guess some people do that while he talks and politics and stuff. Knows his shit. He's calling out good stuff. So after we're done with the show, if you're down, we'll kind of forward you that way. Captive Desk. Good morning. Good morning, Dave. Dave apparently will be joining us in Williamsburg, Kentucky, less than a month from now.
Oh boy!
Wow. Yes, that's, I know, just around the corner. Here's an interesting thing. I'm looking forward to this very much. One of the things is I'm seeking adult ADHD medications.
Oh yes, you did. You said that. Yes.
Yeah. And I finally got an appointment scheduled with the person who can give me the medication. That appointment is on July 3rd.
Oh boy.
So when you meet me, I may actually be a focused, organized Chris. Or not. We'll see. I'm rooting for me, though. Man, we got a lot of Daves in the chat. What the hell's going on? This is some kind of Dave convention?
Is it a Dave convention or something? Oh, man.
I don't know.
Daves
there is
here.
A Dave convention. The Daves are... Oh,
Dave's ahead. Dave's ahead.
That explains the smell.
That's a Jersey Shore joke if anybody ever watched that show.
Oh, I never did.
They'd always shout the cabs ahead because they'd go to the out club and all the time. So they'd call cabs, responsible drunkards.
Brent A is here. Brent has been gone too lately. Brent, anytime you've been gone for more than like a show, a day or two, anytime you've been gone, I start thinking, oh no, did ICE get him? What did he say wrong?
Oh, no. Please, no. No, please.
Ryan looking like ready to go clubbing. That's right. She's doing the thing.
That's why
I'm ready to go to Hawaii, hit a beach. Look at me. I'm going to go.
Yes, I was going to say your shirt. Look at that. Is that one of your new shirts that wifey got you, the evil one?
It is. Yes.
I love it.
We got 3 more in the mail yesterday. From China. China. And so this is the first one.
I like it a lot. I love the colors.
Me too. I really, the wife's got an eye for stuff. I do not. I would never have picked this out for me. Probably just like the red one. I never would have picked that red one out for me, but I'd wear that sumbitch every day if it weren't the only one I had. I can't believe it has sentimental values.
See, my husband, if he finds a shirt he likes, he just gets like a bunch of colors. He has a lot of the same shirts, just different colors. Hey, but he's comfortable and he looks nice. So
I don't see a problem with this. I feel personally attacked.
It's definitely not an attack. It's not at all. It's just how his brain works. It's funny.
Mine went from bag t-shirts that were way too big for me. And then I went from that to all Henleys. And now I'm kind of moving to these kind of cut shirts with t-shirts under them. Anyway.
It works.
So, yeah, it works. And then, of course, once the show's over, I strip naked and walk down the street babbling. As far as I can, anyway. Good morning, Ben. 9 lives. Thank you for joining us Friday the 13th. Chris's shirt is beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, piss. It's Friday the 13th. I did not realize that. Happy Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th.
Oh, shoot. And as soon as we said that, guess who rolled in? Patty. I'm just saying.
Patty. Wait a second. Patty is here?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Patty. Thank you for joining us. Another one of them, like, where have you been? Well, where's my hug and my butt pinch?
Just a little one.
You got to watch her. She's handsy.
We had a friend at work who would like pinch butts, and sometimes she'd pinch boobs too.
Really? I'm sure there's a website for that somewhere.
Oh, brother.
Hello, Patty, says Captive Desk. Fern Lovebond, good morning. Fern is here doing the thing. Says Ryan, I found pocket tees in olive green for $5 and I bought 5 of them. It's almost a uniform for me at work. That's kind of cool. Yeah. When you find something that works, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Especially basics.
Mm-hmm.
Like
one of the things,
shirts and things like that, because sometimes they're hard to find in like the right fit.
True. One of the things I kind of tried to do, especially earlier in the show, was because a lot, like you pointed out, a lot of my shirts are the same color and they're kind of the same, So I might do a week and you might notice that one shirt's a little darker than the other, but otherwise I wore, so I had to actually be careful to change shirts that looked significantly different from the one that I wore the day before. Otherwise, it looked like I'd been bumming it all. Good morning, Dr. Kip. Thank you for joining us. What's going on tonight? Apostate Sisters. Oh, yes. Apostate Sisters, please. What's going on tonight? The gorgeous Rion will be featured in a pre-recorded interview on your channel. You have a wrench, Apostate Sister Patty. Please feel free to post links to that if you've already got them up.
Oh, man. She made me cry. See, you get to go watch me freaking.
Oh, were you bawling?
I wasn't even. I had no. There was nothing. I shouldn't even. There was nothing. I could not. It shouldn't. It didn't need to happen.
Oh, but you did it.
But it
wussy.
I know. God damn it.
Man up, girl.
No, but it was a really fun time. I loved it. I'm hoping to do some more collaborations with both Patty and Nancy. So please, be with us tonight so we can chill out.
They are so much fun. I am so looking forward to this thing. Now, for those of you who don't know, all right, I got a couple things to mention real quick. I just want to point out tomorrow, day of protest. If you can, absolutely do it.
Right.
But I'm so looking forward to this upcoming Williamstown, Kentucky Ark Encounter protest because, so many people. Nancy's going to be there. Durante's going to be there.
Oh, Nancy's going to be there too?
I believe it's Nancy. Out of the two of them, one of them is going to get to be there. Yes, I think it's Nancy.
I really want to go.
Yes, and then who else is going to be there? The Godless Engineer is going to be there, and one of what's his name?
Dade's going to be there too.
Dade Murphy. Oh man, he's I think probably the one I almost caught one of his live streams yesterday. It's like,
I know.
I
saw this morning. I saw that he had a live, and I was like, God damn it!
I know you missed it. I missed it. We missed it.
Damn it.
NoKings.org for your closest protest. And Patty, you have a wrench, so you have the ability to post straight up links. Be a boss. You can be a boss.
Boss up.
Boss girl.
Boss lady.
There are 6 in your city. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I know something's going on probably downtown in Albuquerque, but I may be streaming. I may go ahead and stream from here to kind of see what's going on. I hear there's going to be like a 70% chance of rain whenever Herr Fuhrer gets his parade.
Oh,
I know.
That would make me very sad.
It would. Are we gonna have like a Tiananmen Square moment? We're gonna have a parade of tanks going down the road and people.
That's
getting
exactly what I think.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. It's just what do you call that? It's just a show of force. There's probably a word for it. I don't freaking know.
Right.
But,
you mean like whenever he's shown the whole parade thing?
Yeah.
Fascist autocrats tend to do that. I mean, we've seen that.
It's definite posturing. He's trying to make himself look like the people that this country allegedly is against.
Yeah, I know. The hypocrisy is painful to watch.
It hurts.
It hurts. if you know, if you're an aware individual and you have any idea about history, this is a painful thing to watch. Kip Davis says, I was told that there are tons of listings for seat fillers on Craigslist in the DC area. Also, who knew that people still used Craigslist? Ain't this true? I mean, I've heard that too. I saw something on that.
Sorry.
Okay. So I've been recently diagnosed, and it explains things, a lot of things. AD&D, ADHD. And so it explains why I oftentimes don't get to the ends of things. Okay? There's a lot of things I can't finish, including sentences. Anyway, here's a thought that I'm going to finish. And that is that I saw something on the news about this Craigslist. And they were I was fixing to find out if it was real, if the right-wingers are really advertising for seat fillers, or if it's just, conspiracy bunk or whatever. And I don't remember getting to the end of whatever it was. I got distracted, and there was a squirrel somewhere. And yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, though. The anti-squirrel meds. My squirrel pills.
Yeah, your squirrel meds.
Squirrel pills, yeah.
Squirrel.
Because I got on the, what was that stuff called? This crazy pills. Or we got to call them my crazy pills. And it's my pills to keep me from being crazy. Emotional. What do you call them? Son of a bitch. Antidepressants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're my crazy pills.
I wasn't exactly sure. So I'll let you say it.
Yeah. So that's it. John Hudson says, I so fucking feel you, pal. That's the whole thing, man. I got so many things I just can't. That's why I'm so hoping that whatever they give me will help. I'll be able to focus and do things. And because the only time I can get anything done is if it's new, if it's interesting. And as long as I can get it done before it loses that novelty or that interest or whatever, I think part of the reason that got me through that second Wild Bill Wiggle Stick commercial or car thing was because I had a dog. I had a new prop that I wanted to put.
You were just excited to try it out.
Yes. Good morning, Scott Duke. Thank you for joining us. Phil Castle says, Chris, just take a chill pill. I do every night before I go to bed. Lindsay Schwinger. Good morning, Lindsay. That looks like a new name in the chat. I am absolutely kidding this time.
Oh, I like the hair.
Lindsay Schwinger. Hey, wait.
All I can see is bright pink. I can't.
Pink, yeah.
The icons are so tiny, but I like it.
I dig the pink. Thank you, Raven Lunatic, for the $5 super chat. Why are shirts with 8 buttons so mesmerizing? Because you can only fasten 8. Now I have to wonder 1, 2.
How many buttons you got, Chris?
4,
Probably like 6.
5, 6.
7. Okay, I was off by 1.
That's right. We were so close, though.
So close.
I am not fascinated. Thank you, Raven Lunatic. Brent A took the opportunity to groan in the chat for us. Thank you, Brent. We appreciate that. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Raven. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Let's see. Apostate Sister. Yes, I missed something. I'd go to the No Kings, but the closest one is like 9 miles away. It's going to be over 100 degrees and no transpo. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I need to organize and coordinate with the evil one. If we want to go together somewhere. Really, I want to keep an eye on what's going on around the rest of the world. One of the things that I really, really regret is that on January 6, 2021, I started covering that, watching that live on my show and all that with Andy Hall. And then at first, kind of looked like nothing was going to come of it. We shut down the stream and all that business. I look up a little while later, and they're storming the freaking Capitol. So, John Hudson, I'm going to send you a Pearl Snap button shirt. There is no going back. Okay, Pearl Snap button shirt.
Okay. Right. Is that like the kind you can just go?
Yes.
Rip it open.
Sexy. Show my man hairs. That's awesome. Well, actually, there's been the thought that because I really do enjoy wearing these shirts. Different, being cool, being colorful. Mm-hmm. There's also an address in the thing, so if people want to send me stuff, they can. And actually, I wonder. Forgive me, but somebody asked me how to contact you, and I was busy doing something else. And let me see who it was. It's some regular in the show. I think it was Rainbow Ash.
Regular.
Did Rainbow Ash get a hold of you in Discord?
I don't. Where in the Discord or
on Discord?
I don't remember. Let me see.
Gotcha.
I don't think so. Is that what their name is in Discord? They might need me to friend them. I don't know.
Rainbow Love 487 in Discord. Rainbow. Anyways, Rainbow Love 487 in Discord. I guess you don't know her. She just anyway. She said.
Yes. Okay, I just see they sent me a friend request. Oh, I have 2 friend requests. I didn't realize. I don't check this stuff often enough. I have to remember to check. Okay, just friended Deviant, Outcast, and Rainbow Ash.
All right. There is a story here that the Rainbow Ash sent me about ICE arresting Brazilian asylum seekers paying speeding ticket at Franklin County Courthouse. And this is according to Rainbow Ash, this is happening in their town. The sad part is this is just, it's freaking happening everywhere. They're going to schools and getting little kids, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're going to birthday parties and raiding little kids' birthday parties.
Oh man.
It's very Gestapo-ish,
Yeah, I can't believe you do that to children. Well, how can you create platforms about protecting children?
Right, absolutely. Dr. Kip, if you want, you have a wrench, I believe. Feel free to post a link to your show tonight. If it's available. Would you read the next one? I'll let you read the next one. How's that?
So Secular Felinist says, why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over a bay, they'd be bagels.
That's good. I like it.
They'd be bagels.
Thank you for Secular Felinist for the $5 super chat.
Secular Felinist. Now I want a bagel. I love myself a bagel.
You're hobbing bagels. We have bagels.
Oh, you do.
I saw them the other day. There's bagels in the room. The evil one is. I may have to end the show early.
I gotta go eat.
I don't know that I did mean. Sorry if I did. Let's see, Fern Love Pond. I'm sorry if I did. I didn't. It's a public thing. I didn't realize. Sorry. I will not do it again. Rainbow Ash. Yeah.
Did I do that?
I did that whenever I called out their handle earlier for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that. No. I didn't realize.
Apologies to anybody. Sorry about that. We all kind of know I'm new and stupid.
We're a little older, and so we don't think I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that's probably should be. And I actually should think about that a little bit more often, just because I try to be so not secretive. That's not the word. Anonymous, a little more anonymous.
Right. Rational Poet Jackie says, I got fired from the ice cream shop because I refuse to work on Sundays. You're not related to Raven Lunatic, are you? Let's see what you're doing here. Oh, hey, Jessie Bear is here. Hello, Jessie Bear. Thank you for joining us. We've just been doing stuff. I want to see what... Oh,
Dr. Josh has a beard?
Dr. Josh has a what?
He got a beard now?
Dr. Josh has always had a beard, hasn't he?
No, I mean, usually I see him clean shaven. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw him.
I was just going to say, let me show you this thing that Dr. Kip shared with me. Let's go here.
Or maybe he didn't. I
Oh, yeah.
Actually, maybe I did see him with a beard. My brain is a little...
mine too. I'm addlepated.
I know things and then I forget the things and then I remember that I did know the thing.
Yes. Why does it anger me so intensely how Trump and his cronies are acting, destroying the U.S., ruling by fear, blatant lying, corrupting? Why does it make my blood boil? I'm not there. It's not my country. I've never been there. It's thousands of miles away. I wasn't part in it coming to this. Why am I so invested? Why do I care so much? I'm serious. I know. Well, I tell you, let me finish reading. I'm serious. I want to know y'all's take because I keep hearing it's not up to me to say what's best for your country. So I do care, but I do care. Evil hurts me regardless whether or where the evil happens. That's kind of it exactly. So hey, Rainbow Ash, Rainbow, we doxed you on the thing a minute ago. Your Discord handle, 1,000 apologies, but Ryan has accepted your Discord friendship, and you can send her stuff in Discord.
I can't see the first comment from Deviant Outcast. Am I dumb?
It says
there it is. Never mind. I am dumb. Never mind.
You know, part of the deal is, and I appreciate your position on any of you who are foreigners. Let me real quick, if you can, go check out Dr. Kip's live stream this afternoon. Apparently, he's going to have a woman hater on there. Apparently, or an incompetent buffoon, or both apparently in the same package. Go check that out. But one of the things is it matters. It matters who the American president is and what we do. Other countries lead by our example. You know, we're supposed to be the shining light of freedom and democracy in the world. And wait a second, we're here putting our boot on our own people. And that has a lot to do with it. And then this extends to other places. Part of what the show is about today is that, you know, or that I mentioned earlier, is that Donald Trump is now throwing his full voice behind Israel and their attack on Iran. So would now you can argue it's kind of a racist thing because people see Israelites in
Israelis
see them as white, Israelis as white, while Iranians are seen as brown people. You know, you could see this as a racist thing. But, you know, I don't know. Donald Trump it could be a racist thing. It could be a distraction. There's a lot of reasons why he's for it. But the Zionists, I don't know. Ryan, do you know what the hell's going on at all? Why
with the recent attack?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mostly what I know was that Israel's the one usually doing the provocation. I'm not saying the other countries are innocent, but Netanyahu has a hankering for creating enemies so that way he can continue to paint himself as the victim and continue to play this role as if they're just the innocent. Yeah, just the innocent, never do anything wrong. Everybody hates them because of their religion when that's not, I'm not saying that there aren't people, obviously there's people who do, duh. Right, and they'll take advantage of times like this. Duh.
Of course. Yes.
That's what opportunists, that's what opportunists do. They take opportunities. But from what I've read about him, from what I've seen of the clips of when he was in Congress and stuff like that, he has always been stoking the hatred and pulling us against them. And a lot of it's unfounded. A lot of it's been unfounded. He's been saying that Iran is going to build a nuclear weapon, I think for I don't know, has it been 20 years or something like that? He's been saying for a very long time. And it, as of yet, as far as I know, that has not happened.
Right. Oh, I know.
That's really all I know. I know that there's been back and forth recently between them. And I honestly, a lot of it, I think, is Netanyahu just wanting to provoke us to join. Yeah, well, no doubt. Yeah, I see just and we're willing. Proxy war happening here. You know, we're willing to join and help. I think we're willing to join and help because it'll distract from what's going on here. Exactly. It is a lot of it is just wag the dog, like you said the other day. Yep. I want to say thank you to Raven Lunatic for the $5 super chat. Says a cop walks into a protest and is immediately called racist. He says, "I'm not racist. My wife has a black eye." That's. Oh man, Raven. I know, right? Sometimes they take a moment to sit in. Thank you, Raven. For the super chat. I'm sure somebody said something. I'm not even sure if I get it. Raven, I don't know if I want to get that joke. It may not be racist, but it is sexist. That's true. It's right. Yeah. That's borderline criminal.
And then, and then Jesse Bear for $2 says all the links. Let me post these links here, and let me go here. I'll post this to upper link. I think they're the same thing. Yes, this one kind of explains more as to what they are. And we'll pin that one up there, guys. Before I do, if you haven't answered the poll for today, click up there, get your link, go to the poll, go look at my poll. I'm about to replace the pinned message. There we go. Okay. So if you'd like to help any of the causes or the activism that Jesse Bear is doing, go click those links.
And I did put that link in my last video, and I freaking meant I meant to even do like a short little commentary at the end, and I forgot to include it. I had so many issues with that freaking video. Like the color went wonky. Like I can't win.
Tech gremlins were all over you. And that explains why things have been going so smoothly here.
Ooh, the world is against me.
You got the tech gremlins over the internet.
For real, man.
Took them away from me.
Be careful. They might be catchy.
Right. John the Heretic says Netanyahu is another criminal. That's kind of what I'm saying. The Zionist, he's part of the Zionist movement. They're the Israel's equivalent of a MAGA group that has taken over the government there, and they're leading on full-blown right-wing, unhinged policies. Shoot first, don't ask any questions. No help, no mercy, no quarter, and the other things that are going on. Now, this is not all of Israel. This is not all of the Jewish people. Israelites, or however you want to put it.
It's a government thing that just like our government thing bleeds into the people. What you see here is exactly what you see there.
Yes. And
unfortunately, it's been festering there since, inception, basically. So they've had it for they're more progressed. So again, what we see happening over there, it has potential to happen here. And I think is what they do want here. They want more of a lockdown. They want more people with guns, and not the normal everyday people, you and I, more like troops and forces to enforce the law. So, that's a very, that's a very scary prospect for me to see. Like, can you imagine living in a place where, like, just around the corner all the time, every day, there's just people standing there with guns? I would not feel safe in a country like that. I don't know how people think that reads safety. That to me reads fucking criminal. People being taken advantage of, fear-induced behaviors, coercion. Sorry, I could just keep going on. I don't like that. I don't like that prospect, y'all.
Raven says, sorry, didn't mean to come off as sexist. Sorry if you did. I think you meant like implying. No, really, once you get the joke and you understand, it's really a complex issue, because the individual in question, I get it. It's just kind of real and hits home. That sounds like something somebody like that would really say. Were you telling a joke, or were you chronicling something somebody had said to you? It's hard to say with these people.
I know. Speaking from experience, yeah.
Tough call. There's so many Americans, says Apostate Sisters, there are so many Americans that not all the military could fully control us physically. That's why the psych tactics. Right. They've got a lot going on. Donald Trump, this is going exactly, I think, as he's planned. I'm still thinking maybe if there are enough people show up, martial law will be called tomorrow in Washington, D.C. I'm betting. And that's part of the reason why I'm wanting to be here covering it at home with my computers and shit, watching what's going on. Because if I'm somewhere, I won't be able to see exactly. Israel killed top military leadership and nuclear scientists. They did. That's what I heard,
Indeed. They're very, see, this is what drives me wild, is they have the technology, they have the ability to, even through like internet means, what am I trying to say? They have so many different avenues to spy on people. Let me just say that. So they know a lot of things that are happening just with technology and people on the ground. The fact that they were able to kill those people and other high profile people is an indication of just how sensitive that technology is. If I'm,
How
speaking correctly,
accurate they could be. Yeah.
how accurate they can when they choose to be. If they could, if they could, they should, but they don't, because that's intentional. Because like what you're witnessing with the attack on civilians in Palestine, or they're here and they were there and they were here. No, you know where they are. They do. They know a lot more than what they let on.
There is a lot going on. These dynamics are complicated. And one of the things that I've made, matter of fact, the show is called Zealot Wars. Today's topic, Zealot War heats up. Because that's what it is. You said it's been going on forever, and it has. And it's wars between these religious zealots, one group to the other. But something we've already been discussing is that we need to shift the conversation now to Iran. And I think somebody here in the chat, who was it, made a very good point. Slade Chimera says the Iranian people have been trying to overthrow the Ayatollahs for 46 years and have repeatedly asked Israel and America to help free them. Now, so one of the things I've maintained is the problem in Israel right now, the political problem, is the far right wing is in control. They're about violence, unaliving each other. That's what their whole business is about. Just like MAGA here. That's the thing. You know what the problem in Iran is? The same thing. The religious right are in control. And so this is what happens whenever you get those two groups against each other. The right wing against the right wing of two different communities or whatever, you get war. That's kind of
zealots
what you get.
Versus zealots.
Zealots versus zealots, exactly. So it would be fortuitous, I believe, I would like to think, if by chance Israel accidentally did what this individual suggests and took out the problem that maintains the oppressive regime in Iran, because we were the ones that helped overthrow the democratically elected government that ruled Iran before the Ayatollahs came into power. We did that. We very much helped do that. So it would be nice if they could get you. Have you seen images on the internet, Iran before and after, and it shows women in like skirts? It was the 60s and 70s. They had mini skirts and
I said before, there was a time where it was just kind of like how it is with how it was with Christians, where it was just like, people are more relaxed. They're more lax. They weren't so hung up on, like, the only reason people are hung up on like abortion and gay marriage and whatnot is because it's intentionally being provoked. They're being propagandized.
Absolutely.
And now again with the far right or zealot, whatever you want to call them, with that religion, they've just incited those types of feelings and beliefs, when before people were far more relaxed and women were doctors and everyone went to school. And, that's why they did so well for so long, is because they did encourage education. And now look, it's not good when you oppress women. It's you don't do well when you treat people like property.
And when it changed for them was whenever it went from being relatively secular to heavily religious. Whenever they went to,
it was more secular, exactly.
Fundamental.
Yeah, that's the better word, is what I was trying to say, instead of relaxed.
Yeah, more secular, more relaxed.
Thank you.
Good morning, Otis. Only Otis. And I guess let's see that random guy. Only Otis. I'm praying for them as well. You two both showed up at the same time. That's very interesting.
Show ya, burn it, jungle love. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
No, it's all right. You do your thing. You're very jellical today.
Very jellical today.
That's right,
brother. The only joy I can get in this world.
That random guy 2.0 says, I've been here since the start. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Since the start. Were you the word with God?
Or were they just chilling there waiting for somebody to come in and talk?
Are you John 1:1?
The U.S. reinstates the Shah. Yeah, gonna reinstate the Shah. Man, I don't know. That's the whole thing. Last I saw, I haven't got to check a lot of the news this morning because I was doing other stuff. Actually, I did kind of check the news. But some of what I saw was that now Donald Trump, as I mentioned at the start of the show, is supporting the attack, you know. And I just feel like this is muy bado for Iran. Now, what's going to happen? Are the other nations in the area going to do or say anything? What's going to happen? Or is everybody, because I just don't see it stopping. And people are like, oh, yes, they took out the scientists and the military leaders. I have a question. How many civilians were killed? I did see like an apartment building that had been hit by some stuff. Or, you know, so I'm just saying there's a lot of, we got to be careful. You know what's happening here on the streets of the United States? They've got this one tiny little block in Los Angeles where there's a little bit of rowdiness going on, and they paint it as if the entire town of Los Angeles is burning, and it's not. And they make it out like those couple of little instigators is an army of bad people, and they're not. It's just a few little instigators. So now, as we're hearing what's coming out of Israel, and what they're telling us has happened, you got to question, did they really just kill some military guys and some scientists? Is that all they did? Do we know that? How do we know that? Are we going to trust them? Would you trust MAGA?
Or do we trust our media?
Yeah, if J.D. Vance came out and gave you a report on what's going on in L.A., would you trust him? I don't know that I really trust what's going on.
It just feels like all of these, it just really feels like a game to me. I feel like we're living in that game. Where's the game that you kind of play is it Risk? Where you're like the countries and you try to overthrow. Like some are playing together, some are on the same side, but they move us all around like we're the game pieces. I'm tired of being effed with. Yeah.
Well, I have you noticed, and thank you, Bill, for the $5 super chat, Bill's Castle.
Bill.
You know, Bill, good to see you again. It's been a day or three. The chat kind of goes by. Maybe I missed you, but I hadn't noticed you recently. Good to see you. Bill says, wars in the Middle East are due to religion. The world would be a better place without religion. #truth, hence the name of the show, Zealot War Heats Up in the Middle East. If we wanted to, we could argue about why is Israel building up, or why is Iran building up weapons, allegedly building up weapons to forge against Iran or Israel? Well, because Israel's being mean to Gaza. Okay, that's a good argument, but they don't need that reason. They've been out for Israel for a very long time for other things Israel has done. You know, it's a more complicated situation, just that one thing. But in actuality, when it's Islam against Judaism. The zoomed out bigger picture, which is really what Bill Castle said. Thank you for the $5. It's zoomed out. It's just zoomed out. Islam against Judaism. And we have the Jews there, and then we have the Zionists. I mean, you have Israelis and you have the Zionists, right? And then here in the United States, we have Christian Zionists who are Christians and believe in Jesus, but they think certain things have to happen over in Israel before Jesus will come back. All the world needs to turn against Israel, or some bullshit needs to happen. I don't remember. There's different prophecies. Different groups think they have to fulfill. Some of them think something has to do with a cow. Some sort of sacred bull needs to born in this place, or some business like that. But a lot of them are marching religiously towards this Armageddon that they're calling for. It's all religion. It would be nice if they could have that Armageddon and leave the rest of us out of it.
Yeah, right. Please do. I just wanted to, my commentary, I appreciate, thank you. Raven sent something too, but just to Bill, I would like to say that I understand that a lot of this is religion. You know that I think that, but too, as always, I think religion is just used as that shield to pretend as if, to give it that divine power. So it's unquestionable. Mm-hmm. You can't question that hierarchy when it comes from God, so they believe. But in general, mm-hmm. I don't think, I just think there's so much peace. And as Theo said, mm-hmm. for so long, Jews and Muslims lived together in Palestine. Jews, Christians, Muslims live together. I mean, there's still a Christian population in Palestine if they're not, dead now because the Christians are killing them. I just wanted to say that I appreciate your comment. I'm not saying I disagree with you totally. I just don't think it's, I just think it's the zealots. It's the people being in power. Yeah.
There's more to it. There's more.
Yeah.
But we also have, we really do. And the more we think about it, let's take the Israel and Gaza situation. Let's take the Israel and Palestine situation. Let's imagine there's no borders there. It's Palestine. It's not Israel. Is there, in their religious doctrine, precedent that tells them they should go take that land for themselves no matter what? There is, huh?
Are you? Well, yeah. I mean,
literally,
I don't know
the whole Old
about...
Testament. The Old Testament is all about. I mean, like Abraham and his deal. Go take that land over there. You go take that land over there. God gives them this land, even though people are already living there. It's a recurring theme throughout certain parts of the Old Testament. I'm sure Dr. Kip, if he's here, I could ask the chat too. Dr. Kip, if he's here, there's probably lots of examples of where in the Old Testament they're told go take somebody else's land. Mm-hmm. Moses was taking people to go take somebody else's land that already lived there. It's a recurring theme. So the Israelites taking Israel back in 1946, and then again, creating their state, and I guess they got attacked in the 60s. Anyway, doing what they did is on par for them. That's their method of operation. It's literally in their religious book over and over.
What I will say is that, oh God, there's so much to unpack. Really, there's so much to unpack. Because yes, when I watch the news programs from Israel, do I hear a lot of that? Absolutely. It's just filled with, that's our land. It was given to us. So yes,
you're right, right.
That's definitely true. I mean, it could also be said that now that Christians have that portion of their holy book, Christians believe it as well as you could say that, Muslims maybe also feel that very same way. Like, oh, now they're, I don't necessarily know. Does it play a big part? Yeah, they lean heavy into that because they know it will work.
Yeah. Before I forget, I want to say thank you, Raven Lunatic, for the $10 super chat. The Washington Redskins are changing their name. The negativity, contempt, discrimination, and hostility associated with their name. From now on, they will be known simply as Redskins. To get the Washington part out of there. I
really hate that. I wish they would. I personally do not think that people groups should be commodified, or I don't even know the word, turned into objects, objectified. Right. Hello, words are important. I don't think that people groups should be objectified. I understand it's happened. I would just prefer that we move towards and away from that. Like if
right. Oh yeah. Oh, I agree. It's now of course there's the switch out here pun. The joke is that normally, but the setup is that they're going to get rid of the word Redskins because it's offensive.
Oh yeah.
But now the word Washington has become so offensive that you'd prefer just to call them the Redskins.
Right.
And I absolutely get that.
No, it was one point. I agree with. I wish they would.
Yeah.
I wish they'd fix it. There's places, even local, where the names are still very demonizing, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to push a limit here that I don't normally push. Okay, here we go. Ears up, people, ears up. Where I'm from, which is West Texas, we have a word for people who come across the border from Mexico. And now, whenever I first heard about the Washington Redskins being pressured to change their name, I was like, I don't get it. Why would you? I get it. I understand the term Redskin could be, I get it. Okay, I could see maybe a little bit how they'd be offended, but really it kind of lifts them up, doesn't it? More than it. Okay, cool. It took me a little while to figure out what was going on. And then somebody, I don't remember who it was, said, well, what if they were calling them the Washington Wetbacks? And where I'm from, that's because I'm from where I'm from, right? I'm from Texas, and that was the thing we used to use. That's obviously, now I've even made a joke that, well, you know, whenever things get bad here, I'm going to be going to Canada, and they're going to be calling me a snowback.
Is that what they said? What?
No, I make a joke.
I was asking. I was like, oh, that's a real term. So I was like,
no, well, it may be. I don't know, but when shit goes south, if you will, I'll be heading north, and you'll call me a snowback because I'll be right. Okay, so once somebody said that to me, I was like, oh, I get why you wouldn't want to be called the Washington Redskins. Yeah. I get why you'd want to change it. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Ryan Raven. You know, the resemblance, you guys look so much alike that it's really hard to. Theoretically, in Palestine, Christians, Muslims, and Jews live together. It's all of their origin. You know, yeah, absolutely. Part of the deal, and that's what people are all in agreement on, is that a lot of this is there's people at the top, I feel, who are using the religion to get what they want militarily against other people. There's people in the middle and on the bottom who actually are religious and believe these things. They believe that it's their destiny, it's their manifest destiny. And the people at the top are using the power given to them by the people at the bottom to make this stuff happen. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I mean, absolutely done. There's no in a way, really. You're right. I'm right. They're right. I mean, it's all kind of coming together. You're right. I'm sitting here laying the blame. It's a zealot war. It's religion. And you're going, well, yeah, not wrong. But it's also people using religion for power and control. And I'm like, yes, and yes, and yes.
Because I just don't want to, I fear demonizing people, because then I'd feel like I don't want to be on that same bar. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a little more level-headed and understand the intricacies of what's happening. Like, just like Trump, that fucker ain't religion. We know he's not religious. He's never even so much as spoke about God on any of his interviews, I don't believe. I mean, maybe just in passing if somebody asked him, but he's never been like, oh, well, thank God I've got all these things because I pray really. He's never stood on that platform. And now he is constantly speaking about God and the Bible and morality, and because he knows he can use it. He knows he can stoke that fire with those people who take it so seriously because they're just weak-minded people. No, I'm sorry, that's me, but ignorant, maybe.
Yes. Well, they're not wrong. No, there's a lot of things going on in the chat. I want to say Slade Chimera has pointed out that Chris is quoting stories. I'm quoting stories. Jews, Samaritans, and Phoenicians are the native Canaanites. You know, one of the things, and I also noticed there's a comment about yes, she is. Like that I know the Bible. I don't know if that was sarcasm or what. I kind of have a superficial knowledge of the Bible. Dr. Kip, he really knows a lot more about the Bible. But what I do know, I know the tool used to teach people here in America the Bible, and that is motivating them to oppress me with their theology, and that's either the King James or the NIV version. I kind of got those pretty good. Now, if you want to ask about the ancient translation on the fourth day of the fifth version of this scholarly tale of this one guy who spoke ancient Hebrew, who translated it from this other dead language, that's far beyond me. I don't give a shit about any of that. Part of my arguments about that, and I love Dr. Kip, I love what Dr. Josh do by analyzing all this stuff to me, but this is my true and honest belief. If that God were even remotely real, and that's how it communicated with us, and that's the only way you can get the message, then that's fucking useless that you would have to go learn some ancient language and how, did they say agape love, or what kind of love word were they using?
Right.
It's useless because billions of people all over the world are never going to analyze it to that depth and get to that message. They're never going to go, they said this in ancient Greek, so it means this. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not downplaying the importance of those people who do that kind of thing. I'm just saying I'm not that guy. If it's good enough for the Old Testament, or I'm sorry, if it's good enough for the NIV version that you're going to teach your children to hate people with, it's good enough for me. You know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And if they ever start breaking out the whole, you didn't read it in the ancient, Hebrew translated to Greek, and then, with the little codex that they gave out on their arm, I don't give a shit about that. I really don't.
Why don't you care?
That's sort of like Richard Madsen. You remember Richard Madsen used to show up in the show, and he's got an extremely unique view on religion. And I could just see him and God in heaven, all alone, because he's the one guy who managed to get the one message that nobody else on the entire planet gets about what true Christianity and what true God meant, like Jesus. That's a lot of hearts. Ryan, got to run. Have lots to prep before tomorrow. No kings tomorrow. Nationwide, people. Yes. The ESV might be the most terrible English language translation of all time. That's the cool. That's one of the things I love about our chat. I'm like a mid-swinger. I do know shit about the Bible, but again, it's just base level stuff. I know that Abraham was married to his half sister. Okay, but I don't really know the complexities. That somehow she was, it was normal and all this other business because of blah and I don't know all that stuff. I know that if he said she's my sister, that's good enough for me.
And I'm all for it. And those stories are so, all of them, every goddamn story is so pieced together.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. They contradict each other. And then when they're one story, they have, that, remember that I said that that happens twice where Abraham gives away his sister, and then it happens again with, is it Joseph? I forget. One of the other people, that same thing. Yeah, happens again. And then it changes. It's different. It's like, come on, you can't even get the story straight when you tell it a second time and then a third damn time.
So true. Obi Atheist, I'm with you. That whole bit about if it was really the word of God, why wouldn't they make it crystal clear for every single person who reads it? Very true. I mean,
it should be hard.
It should not be hard.
It should be easy for a first grader. Sorry.
It should be. No. You're right. That was important what you said. Good morning, Godless Scummer. All right. That's what caught me, because when I said good morning, I realized Godless Scummer is in England, and it's probably not morning. Or England. Somewhere over in the Euro place. So good afternoon. John the Heretic, his word is on fire. Where is this God? Yeah, I mean, so wait, you guys believe in the Big Bang too? I want to tell you briefly that we actually have science that leads towards the Big Bang. You have no science whatsoever that leads towards your religion, your God at all. None. Zero. If you had it, you'd put it up. You have zero. Whether we have the best explanation that science can give us. You wouldn't even know the term, the Big Bang, without science. You just think whatever you think. So, Raven Lunatic, respectfully, maybe you don't understand evolution correctly because evolution uses science and all that stuff. Science and facts. KCA Randy is here. Hard Determinist is here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. John Hudson thinks Abraham was probably from Alabama. I don't know if we should vilify all of Alabama. If you're living in Alabama, the word vilify means to make you look bad.
You're so racist.
I'm a bad man. I'm a statist.
I know. Yeah. Statist. That's the best way to put it. I'm a statist.
Let's see. Don't forget the quantum blah 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 proves God. Oh yeah, that's right. One of the things I've been interestingly kind of drawn to lately is epistemology, the street epistemology thing about like asking them questions and like, why do you believe this stuff? Fern says, I don't believe in science. I accept scientific findings. I mean, it's like the light bulb over here. I trust that the light bulb will come on when I press the button unless there's something mechanically or electrically wrong with it. As long as there's nothing physically wrong with it, it'll work every time. Every freaking time, reliably. My science does that. You cannot do that with your faith. You can't put a candle over on that table and reliably have your God, the all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent, omniscient creator of the universe. You can't have it light that candle up over and over again. I mean, come on, demonstrate your power. And I want to say that in today's modern world, you can actually make things happen far away. You're like, oh, I can't light that. It's stupid to think that my God would light that candle up. Hey, guys, Did you know? Now, I don't have any lights set up to flash, but I actually could if I wanted to. I just don't have them set up to do that. However, we can make some noise. Would any of you mind setting off the alert for me?
Oh, do it.
Let's test and see if it
Who's
still
going to be
works.
first? You get a big
Who's gonna be
prize if you're the first to do alert.
Yes, a big prize.
Big prize.
Here we go. Can you do the alert?
Who is it going to be?
Here we go. Somebody they're going fast. Alert.
Miss Non Sequitur for the win.
So close, but no, not a win. That's close. It's almost close.
Oh no! Show me. Yes, it was backwards.
I know you're so close. I feel like on Jeopardy. You got to form it as a question. You have to put the apostrophe. There you go. You did it. Okay, so you can see, isn't that fantastic? How somebody far away was able to make things happen here using my science. I told you we could do it. We did it. I mean, is that powerful? That is some powerful stuff. Now,
is it God?
Botherers in the chat, come on, man. Make your God light my candle.
Right.
I'm going to light it in a minute because I already determined I wanted to light it. But I want
Yahweh.
Yeah. Show us some power, man.
Well, Elijah, call that God down. Pour the water on it and then call your God down to light the pyre.
That's right.
That wasn't gasoline. I wasn't gasoline, but something flammable.
Let's see. Did Obi Atheist light somebody up? Let's see. I love to use the domino example. Dominoes knock over dominoes, like how events led to events. Someone had to be there to push the dominoes. Okay. That we get that, man. We hear that all the time. Who created that someone? That someone cannot have just popped into existence. It cannot have always existed.
Yeah, because God's just another one of them dominoes.
And again, right? If your God is that right
in that chronology.
You know, I wonder if we should actually take calls on the show. Maybe
I think we should have a day where we take calls at least a day of it. Yeah.
We should let's take a poll. Let's take a poll. Now we will. All right. So now if we're gonna have a poll. Let's work this up together. I got to close this old poll, and we're already the day is fucking. We go here. I'm gonna open a new poll, Nuevo Polo, and the question is: start a poll. Should we take calls?
Dave is like, oh, no.
And then we're gonna go. Now this is just one day a week. Okay, so we're gonna go.
Atheist scum was 8%.
Talk to Christians. What?
The previous poll, atheist scum was 8%.
Oh yeah, that's good. We're working it. Let's go heathen hotline for atheists, and then go no. Let's just start with that, and then we'll go. All right, so we're gonna go these options. Let's see, people. There are your choices on our new poll. Deviant Outcast.
I got to talk to Deviant Outcast.
Hey, you go do that. You want to read that one for the sex, the 50 sex? That's lots of sex.
I need to take this sex and work my magic with it. So Deviant Outcast sex says, now I got sex on the brain. Oh, I just really want to give you sex. It's Friday after all. Time to ramp up the sinning in anticipation for the weekend jamboree. Yes, it's a sex fest.
Woo-hoo. Yep. You hear that? That's me sucking the coffee back out of my nasal passages.
Thank you so much.
That's a bad time to take a drink. Thank you very much.
I wanted to tell Deviant Outcast that I saw their stream. Well, I've gotten through like half of it with the Kentucky Atheist, Jess and Jester. And I really enjoy it so far. Deviant is so smart and has a very, I don't want to say sexy because I don't want to objectify Deviant Outcasts, but I like their accent.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. It's a Swedish accent?
No, I don't. Is it Egyptian? What is your accent actually? Well, if you feel comfortable.
J.O., the first of his name. Thank you for joining us.
Joe.
That's cool. Joe, I guess. Hey, y'all. As a Middle Eastern atheist, we all support Israel against the theocratic terrorist rogue state in Iran. Remember that Israel is of the Western secular civilization.
What is Western? Please tell me what Western civilization means? Is Western civilization bringing in the National Guard to shoot innocent, peaceful protesters? Is that what you mean by civilization? Do tell.
Oh, yeah. This is going to get complicated.
Does that mean enslaving people of color? Is that what civilization means to you? I'd love to know. Or how about operating on women of color just to see what it does? Is that civilization to you? Would love to know. Waiting.
Bill Castle, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said God didn't create man, man created God. Very true. One of the things is in a way, what was going on here, I saw J.O., one of the things now, blaming what Israel is doing on Western secular civilization, I think is wrong. I think it's more accurate to say, as an atheist, if you're really an atheist, it's more apt to agree that it's Judaism in Israel and it's Islam in Iran and Gaza, and that alone is a big part of it. Now, Israel going around unaliving people simply to be like a Western civilization, that doesn't really make sense at all. They do. It does seem like it almost seems like Israel is what Donald Trump wants to turn the United States into. He wants to be going militarily against the people in his own borders that he can do against, and then he also wants to go after Mexico militarily and Canada and Greenland. He's openly talking. His Pete Hegseth has talked about how they're considering military options for going after Greenland. So yeah, they're similar, but it's not because of Western. I think, like we've talked about on the show, it's more of a zealot mindset. It's more of a when zealots get in control of this kind of secular power that you get from a government built on science, that same kind of science we were talking about before. If it weren't for science, in fact, all of you religious folks out there would still be in tents, fighting with swords. And anyway, the universe could begin out of nothing for no reason. Now, again, I'm not defending Israel at all. I'm just saying that you're blaming us for what they're doing, and they have been doing that for a long time. If you weren't here earlier, I mentioned how actually they were doing this command and conquer and take land all the way back to their own biblical times. It's written in their holy books that the heroes of those holy books, and that was the point somebody was trying to make earlier, those are just stories. You're right. They're stories that people use to base their religious identity on and how they should be. And those stories telling them, hey, it's okay, that if your hallucination tells you to go take that land from other people, go for it.
My problem is that Western civilization is a misnomer. That was
very
my
good
point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I had a point too. Mine was
no. Your point is good, but that's my. It's
yeah.
What is Western civilization? Enslaving people, because that's what Western civilization did in its past. Correct? Still continues to do. So I don't understand that.
And see here, Dr. Kip I think he's encompassed literally what we were talking about on the show earlier. How you and we were saying to both kind of not the same thing, where we were both right. And he says, I don't think it's as simple as characterizing Israel's motivation as secular or religious. It's a colonialism, what you were saying, wrapped in religious language. What I was saying, they use that religious language to manipulate the masses that believe. Yeah,
it all, which is why it's very nuanced to some degree. It's very simple, but they pull in so many different webs or strings of that web to entangle people into religious motivation. Because once it's righteous, you just got people on a string.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask this individual who's in the chat, J.O. for the first of his name, what Trump and his cronies do is the opposite of secularism.
I'm not saying I disagree, but this is like what this country is built on. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. This country has a veneer of being civilized, and it's never been. I still don't have my rights, my dear. Is that what civilization is to you? Not you.
Right. No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Well, This is the whole deal. What Donald Trump is doing, where'd it go? I need that sentence. Here it goes. J.O., what Trump and his cronies do is the opposite of secularism. Are you gnawing on pickles? Are you eating pickles?
I'm biting pickles.
What Trump and his cronies do is the opposite of secularism. Exactly. That's exactly right. We're not here supporting Trump and his thing. Trump is literally using the Christians here. He's pandering to the Christians. That's the opposite of secularism. Yes. Trump is bad. Trump is harmful. Netanyahu is bad. He is harmful. They are both the same mindset. They're both going on religion and colonialism to hurt other people.
Yeah.
But no, I would like to know, Joe. I'm going to call you Joe. I think that's right. It just looks like J.O. to me. Sorry, the way I read. Joe, the first of his name. What are your thoughts of Muhammad? I would very much appreciate just to brief down do you think Muhammad was real or do you think he was not real? And I'd please like you to use his name in the chat so I know that you're talking to me about the question I asked you and not something. So was Muhammad real or was he not real? I just appreciate you if you don't mind answering that question for me. Ms. Non-Sequitur, you could do heathen callers one week and Christian callers the next week. That's an interesting idea. What I was thinking about doing was maybe doing one day. I don't know, Ryan, if you noticed the question. The question I asked people was, shit, should we take calls? And then the options are yes. Yes, talk to Christians. Yes, the heathen hotline for atheists. Or no, or maybe. And so far, yes is winning. Either yes, they want us to talk to Christians, 37%. They want us to let Christians call in on the show. I'd talk to them. I'd be willing. And then
how people feel about that.
I know. Well, again, we've talked about this. We talked about this with Nitty on the show Wednesday, and that's our Thursday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. And that's there's one thing to have somebody and platform them, and there's another thing to get them on your show and challenge them. And if they cross the line, we bounce their asses. But, and that's kind of sort of like all the other channels, the Line, Atheist Experience, Talk Heathen. That's what they do. They all have call-in shows where Christians and stuff like that call in to talk to them. And they're never ostracized for platforming Christians. So I don't think that if we had Christians calling on the show and we debated Christians, we'd get in trouble for people thinking we were debating them. If we had Robert Price on the show and we were letting him lecture us and tell us about how he thinks the Bible, that's totally different, right? We can all see the difference, I hope, in that. The first of his name, Muhammad, is not a fictional character. He's the biggest criminal in history, period.
Criminal?
I was just curious. One of... Next to, there's a lot of big criminals.
He and Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
Along with Russell, the one who started the Jehovah's Witness cult, Charles Taze Russell.
Oh, there you go.
All freaking criminals.
Yeah, you know what? When you stop and think, let's ask a question. How many people have been unalived directly by the Jehovah's Witnesses? Oh, no, I'm talking about oppressing. I'm not talking about... has the Jehovah's Witnesses ever marshaled an army and killed everybody or any of that business? They've never done anything. Now they have done things where they've stopped.
They only killed themselves.
Right. That's where I was fixing to go. Now, Donald Trump downplayed the COVID virus at the beginning of the rampage of the virus in our thing. Donald Trump's actions directly led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans over the period of 6 to 7 years. Because, by the time that Biden and them got into it and got the real science going, there was a lot to catch up on. So Donald Trump has killed more people than the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't know what the consequences of what the Donald Trump deranged syndrome, what the hell is that called? The deranged Trump deranged syndrome. What the cataclysmic results could be. I mean, we know how many Jehovah's Witnesses approximately die every year from refusing blood and stuff like that.
Oh, right. But, yeah.
It remains to be seen how many people will die. I mean, because, if you consider he's responsible for what our army does, so we're responsible for the money we're sending to, if you really want to extrapolate it out, responsible for the wars, so the people dying in Palestine are, our money, our president. That's a lot of people. That's more than Satan.
That's a lot.
I'll mind you, please.
It is.
Satan's only ever that we've known of killed a few people, and that was only because God said that he could. And it doesn't even necessarily say that Satan was the one who killed them.
That's right. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's because I always tell them the next chapter, God said, so you moved me to kill them. That's what God says in the very next verse. Yeah.
So it seems like it's Yahweh the one who does the killing.
Yes. Did somebody in the chat have a Trump derangement syndrome? Remember, Trump derangement syndrome? Well, we'll talk about it. We're going to take a break. Let's take a break. Let's do some goat candles. We'll be back in a minute and a half, and then we'll talk some.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning built flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, so we're talking about the... Let me do this real quick. We're talking about the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. What is it called? Trump something. Anyway, the syndrome, they call us, what is it called? Trump derangement syndrome, right? Deranged, yes. And so here's the thing, though. Somebody in the chat, I think it was Rion, said that TDS is an STD. I would take that one step further and say that TDS is an STD of the mind. Because if you've got it, you're fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
STD of the mind.
It's like CJD. It's in your brain. It's in your brain. It's like an amoeba that eats away.
That's right. That's right.
What
happened to Theocracy? Brent, Theocracy Watch is here. We're fixing to do it. We just got busy talking about stuff.
You didn't hear? We decided to not do it anymore.
Ran out of material. We ran out of material. Nothing else to talk about.
As a Jehovah's Witness said, peace is around the corner. Paradise is here. Just you wait and see.
Right. We'll be cashing our right-wing checks soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to hit this button right here, and we'll be right back.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Just yesterday, Trump stood on one of the most violent military bases in the country and asked for more God in America. That's like asking Jeffrey Dahmer to say grace before dinner. Good morning, fellow skeptics, and welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where it feels like we're watching Trump eat America alive, one bite of delicious democracy at a time. Fort Bragg, now rebranded as Fort Liberty, has long been one of the most violent military installations in the country, linked to dozens of unexplained deaths, murders, and trafficking cases. And that's where Donald Trump chose to make his latest pitch for more God in America. In a speech dripping with Christian nationalism and thick with Christianese, Trump didn't just involve religion, he weaponized it. He mocked trans Americans. He blamed the godless left for society's decay. You're welcome. He praised military loyalty pledges and suggested national service should be reserved for the religious. All of it delivered from federal property, flanked by uniformed troops at what was essentially a campaign rally in camouflage. And if that wasn't dystopian enough, he's topping it off with $30 million military parade in D.C., not for veterans, not for national unity, but to celebrate his own birthday. Because nothing says humble servant of God like jets, tanks, and taxpayer-funded pageantry. Who knew Trump's love language was tanks and trauma? because Trump isn't just showing off, he is playing emperor. The DC display comes as more than 4,000 National Guard troops are deployed in Los Angeles under the Title 10, overriding the mayor and governor. Demonstrators are being brutalized, and Senator Sean Bordeaux arrested for asking Kristi Noem a question. Another example of Americans sworn to uphold the Constitution now suited up like the enemy is us. Meanwhile, ICE has ramped up arrests in immigrant communities, setting quotas to deport thousands of undisclosed locations, a death sentence for many. But instead of investing millions into fixing our broken immigration system, that fund is being funneled into a theatrical display of dominance from the GOP. Now, real criminals are taking advantage of the situation by posing as agents to rob people, knowing full well that the law now protects impersonators more than it does victims.
Yeah,
So instead of getting lost in headlines, let's connect the dots. A birthday parade straight out of Pyongyang, troops deployed against civilians like it's occupied territory, ICE tearing families apart while the cameras are forced off, inciting violence and inducing fear, and a president who doesn't want power checked, he wants it worshipped. His holy war is paved with staged flags, sermons, tear gas, and rubber bullets, and just enough cameras to finally show the world what Christian love really feels like. There's always a good time for good trouble. So until next time, stay curious, folks.
It is par for the course.
Yeah, very dystopian.
The fact that he could get up there at a military base and go off stroking a religion like that, stroking that religious horn, blowing that religious horn, it just blows my mind.
This is like we're getting to the point of like the Christian Sharia law. Like this is where we're headed, because I saw some cop, I don't know who, probably with something, saying like protesters would be shot and killed.
Yeah, they were used force.
You can't tell me that you don't see the needle starting to point in that direction of fascism. You know what I mean?
Right. And hell, what does the First Amendment protect? Protest, the right to protest, the right to assemble, the right to free speech. And these people don't even seem to know it, these patriots. And that's one of the things, I mean, any one of these people out here wearing a uniform, standing against these people exercising their rights, is doing just that. They're violating your rights, your First Amendment right. And they don't seem to have a problem with that. The people on the right don't seem to have a problem, even the ones that aren't.
Because their right to protest will always be protected. Because as we've seen in the streets, even though we do have right to peaceful demonstrations, you see peaceful demonstrations consistently infiltrated and shut down by police. Meanwhile, other demonstrations for the Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, all those far right agendas, Christian nationalism, people standing outside of healthcare clinics, Planned Parenthood. Yes, I speak this language. That seems okay because their rights will always be protected. But when it comes to us, when it comes to standing up against the government, when you're dissenting,
right,
you don't have that right.
Joe, the first of his name, says, "Will you please, Ryan, remove the floor mob? That floor mob, you understand nothing about. I don't think I understand that. Supporting Islam is never an option, and I think there's some confusion. Oftentimes, I've seen in the chat. I was going to sound weird.
Is this what he's calling a floor mop? Get him the fuck out of here if that's what he means.
Maybe I don't know.
Out of here right now.
What is that?
If that's what he meant, the fuck out of here.
Gotcha. Let me just see. Oh, yeah, no. Thankfully, Sumami.
Thank you, Sumami.
Took care of that for us. I don't know. I don't even know. I didn't even know what it was. It's just
I know history. That's what I did when I got out of the call. I started researching not only the Bible but trying to understand history, because I never really paid attention to it because I didn't have to, because the end of the world was coming. So what was the freaking point, right? Actually, bad things happening was good because I couldn't freaking wait for it to happen. I was like, God, can we just end this shit? Because I'm tired of it. I want my paradise, So the worst of God, it's kind of like, whew, it's about time. It's about damn time.
Gotcha.
But I had to wake the heck up and really learn the truth. Is there always like this is the bad guy. I get it. Things shift. You can be the asshole and turn from the asshole into the victim. Like, I understand how history works. And I just think that people put people in a victim category and they can't see anything that they do wrong. Just like MAGAs see Trump as innocent and doing the righteous thing, they can't see the other side of the coin. And I think that's what's happening with this person.
Yeah. Well, I think there kind of probably is, once again, a lot going on here. Because based on what that individual said, I kind of agree with a lot of what they said, in that they're talking about how, right, about, well, yeah, of course I wouldn't, no. I don't even know what the heck they were talking about the hat thing, but as far as the reign of militant Islam in the Middle East is bad. Agreed. It'd be nice if they could get rid of that. I don't agree with the people in Gaza's religious beliefs, but at a point, my humanism goes, oh, no, I don't want that to happen to them. I would rather, we need to help them. This is not. So this whole notion that just because they're Muslim, they deserve this kind of thing is not worth it.
And like Sumami said, there's more than just there's people who are atheists, there's Christians, and they're killing everybody regardless. That's
right.
Part of also
part of the cultural programming that goes on over in the Middle East is a hate for Western civilization, right? I mean, I just see that as common. I whenever I saw the comment, I think it was wrong, but it made sense why they would lay that blame on that, because of how they've been programmed. It's interesting. It's scary what's going on and what's happening. So apparently
too. We're just as programmed as they are against them.
That's right. Yeah. Very true. Yeah, I don't really know what he meant about that either. Is that okay? So let me clarify. So I'm not ignorant. He said that a mob. He was talking about the thing you got behind you. What is the thing behind you here? What is that?
Oh, my kufiyah.
A kufiyah. What is it?
So this is a symbol. I believe it's from times of occupation. I believe it goes back to when Britain was the. Oh my gosh, I can't. The O word is coming to me. The O word for occupy. Occupy. But there was a. Oh, you guys, words are hard sometimes. If somebody happens to know what the O word is, I'm thinking of the kingdom that ruled that area for a long time.
Ottomans, the Ottoman Empire.
Do you see how my brain does that to me? Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. It is on. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Shimon.
And then after that, and then Britain took over and then started occupying. I believe it goes back to that times. And I don't remember the full story, but I know that it somehow became like a symbol of resistance against occupation. How people kind of, I guess maybe if in some way you take the symbol and turn it into something positive or something of that nature, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe like the Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, you guys. I swear sometimes I'm more put together than this.
That's not true. No, I understand. I get it. Okay. See, and that's the whole thing. A lot of this is indeed about religion. A lot of it goes back. I've seen images of sweet little old ladies on Israeli streets yelling obscenities at Muslims. It's like seeing a church lady walk out and start cussing and but then there's, by the same token, I don't know who started it. I don't know who's right or who's wrong. That's why most of the time we don't even talk about it. But now we're not going to be able to not be involved.
I know it's getting to the point where everybody's going to be involved.
A full-blown war in the Middle East would certainly distract from civilian uprising in the United States.
Indeed, that would do the trick.
It probably might.
All it took was the trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard for people to forget about Roe v. Wade being overturned.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Well,
all they were
I
talking
know.
about was poor Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I know. Somebody.
Like, how about poor fucking me? I want rights to my uterus. Give me my rights to my vagina.
That's right. But right now, we all have the right to your vagina. So.
Actually, apparently, that seems to be the case. That the entire American country has right to tell me what to do. That's
right. As long as you're not enjoying it.
Yes, this is an original. This is from Herbawi. There's only one factory left. Sorry. I was just speaking to Sumami.
So
there's only one factory left that makes them by hand. They're like woven.
I see. So in my goat scented flesh candle, there's a guy dancing around that has something very similar to this.
Yes. Yeah, remember I told you, I was like, wait, is that?
I remember you saying something about it. And
of course, I don't see it.
Well, my position, I don't.
No, the AI doesn't know. It just says, "Oh, this is."
And I didn't know
Middle-Eastern is. No, I didn't know.
I didn't ancient Middle Eastern.
This is all fucking new to me too, man.
Then we've also got there's two guys dancing around. I don't think they're both wearing the same thing. We'll watch the commercial again here in a minute, maybe just to see it again. There's two guys dancing around. One of them has a different kind of hat wear on. It's the same kind of hat wear. It doesn't look like that though. It's white or something. Anyway. I don't know enough to tell the difference. It's like football teams.
Caliphs, maybe where they have they have it in a certain
band
style. Yeah, they wear it in a certain style. I there's so much I have to learn, and I got more things to learn before I get to learn that.
Really? Terry Taylor, Hamas is a terrorist organization who is also responsible for torture and killing people in Palestine.
Why aren't you talking?
So is the IDF. Well, I know that we're talking about. That's kind of a thing. That's the thing. The IDF and
come
Hamas.
Come to my house, steal my property, rape my children, see what happens to you. I'm just saying. I want you to try it and see what the fuck happens to you.
Wow. Right. Well, see, that's kind of part of the deal. That's exactly part of the deal. Even if they didn't have that motivation, they've got their religious aspect to go on as well. So. There are people over there who didn't have a house. They never lost a house. So they have no reason. But Jews have to die. Israel must be destroyed. Wiped from the map. Just off their religious notions. Anyway.
But that's the very extremist POV.
The argument is, did they bring that on themselves? Just like they're doing now. How many times can you attack the people around you or drive them out or take their land or slay them all and leave nothing but the young girls for yourself? How many times can people around you put up with that shit before they go, you know what, those motherfuckers need to die? I'm just saying.
Yeah, human nature. You can only push humans to so far.
Right. Absolutely. Now, and that's the whole argument. You've got those other people going, well, the Israelites are surrounded by people who want to kill them. And that was my kind of belief. Israelis, thank you. We're surrounded by people who just wanted to kill them for mainly religious reasons, but also for revenge reasons and all that business. Well, that seems to be a running theme for them. You can go look back in their entire... Yeah, it's a victim story. It's, poor us, poor us, poor us. Chris, do you know the difference between a steak dinner and a blowjob? No? You want to go out to lunch? Maybe. I'm a
who's
fan
paying?
of both. Right. And who's giving and who's receiving? Who's giving?
Just the tip.
Right? I think we call that edging.
It won't let me reply. It won't let me reply to Ravens. Like, how you normally reply? Every time Raven sends one, it won't. It's like, don't do it.
Don't do it, girl. Don't do it.
Goddesses are telling me something.
The goddesses. Yeah, see, and like my thing, I've seen that thing. I didn't really think of it as I don't really think of you as a supporter of Islam or any of that business. You okay there?
I dropped something trying to grab my water. It scared me.
Even without you don't have to support Islam to feel sympathy for people, to see injustices being done when injustices are being done, whether they're in the name of religion or not. So that's why some people, some of us have a hard time understanding why a gay person, for example, would be supporting people in Gaza, because if they had their way, they'd be harming the gay people. Look at, is that Pickles back there?
That's Pickles.
You know what? I'd rather talk about Pickles. Is she back here slumming it? Look at that.
Yes,
A lazy
she's
Friday.
lazy when she should be adjusting my. She's got her head on a paper bag. She don't even care.
She's done. She's done. All of my dogs are dogging around here. They really are right now. Ollie's over there dogging. They are. The only one that's not in here is Jack. He doesn't tend to hang out in here. He's our little PTSD dog. So Neuro Geezer snuck in. Even the Steelman argument for Israel's existence does not justify the Nakba, and it certainly doesn't justify genocide. You know, that's part of the deal. I often argue there are certain things like, well, I use the Indians as an example. You know, you can look, you see this map on the internet, and it's like, oh, look at this is the Cherokee.
Yeah,
this is how the land looked at this time. But 50 years before that, it belonged to a different group of people. And before that, it belonged to, and at what snapshot in time do you determine who that land belongs to or any of that business? Fine, great. It's one thing to go, here's the land. I've got this land. This is my land now. It's another thing to continue persecuting an entire population of people, to enclose them into an area and then starve them en masse.
Enclave.
Yeah. I mean, and now the whole recent thing with Gaza and the West Bank, because we kind of haven't spoken a lot about the West Bank, is, you know, what's going on now because of the October 7th and the reprisals and all that business. But this ain't new. The people in Gaza have been trapped in Gaza for freaking ever in one fashion or another. So this is quite a knot to untie.
It is, but we're not going to untie it if we keep giving billions to fucking Netanyahu to kill people, signing bombs and shit.
Right. So now what happens though? Now I haven't checked the news, obviously, since the show started. I'm sure more things are likely to happen, but what's going to happen now? My understanding is Iran tried to retaliate by sending some drones, and Israel shot them all down. So there was no real reprisal for Iran. So what's Egypt going to do? What is Saudi Arabia going to do? What's Iraq going to do? You know, they had to go over Iraq to get to Iran. So I'm just kind of curious, is there going to be any kind of repercussions? John Hudson says, come on, who wants to talk about pickles when we can talk about boobies? Well, in the best kind of video, both are present. Don't answer your pagers. That's no shit. Don't answer your pager. Don't have a pager. No. Yeah, be very safe. Don't get a pager. It's unsafe. Tim XTM, sometimes it's tiresome when the marginalized communities eventually take the control and does the same shit to the next marginalized ones. I know it's considering the history that the history that they have and what they survived, you'd think they wouldn't be so hesitant to visit that same horror on other people.
Well, indoctrination will do that to you.
It damn sure will. That's right. All right, John Hudson is begging for movies. I'm going to run Wild Bill. We're going to take a break, and whenever we get back, we'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll wrap up the show. Here we
wrap it up.
Let's go Wild Bill 1, and then I'll close the show today with Wild Bill 2.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. What the? I am Wild Bill Wigglestick, and I'll be your handsome host, your gilded guide, your cowboy concierge of Shakespeare. Dude, really? Today on Shakespeare with a Redneck, I'm going to perform the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. Damn it, Bill. Two households, both alike in dignity in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Hey, that wasn't half bad. I'm not as dumb as I look. Of course not. You'd be in a coma. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, 2 snot-nosed brats ignore the warnings of their learned parents and end up getting 4 people killed. Bill, come on, man. You're always blah, blah, atheist stuff, blah, blah, boring. Say something fun, for goodness sake. What? Particle is a fun word. Bill, particle, particle, particle. Bill, or talk about horses and dogs. People love horses and dogs. Or boobies. Everybody loves boobies. Bill, oh, can I say boobies on YouTube? If you close your eyes, it doesn't count. Talk about boobies then. Okay, everybody loves those cute little blue-footed bastards. It hurts right here. Culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid bringing a plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses! By hitting that subscribe button, then that little notification bell. And bang that thumbs up button like frisky cousins at a family reunion. Thank you and take care. Peace.
And we are back. Thank you very much for... I hope you enjoyed the boobies. Everybody loves boobies for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Who
I don't
doesn't
blame
love
them.
boobies?
Who doesn't? I'm a fan myself. They are showstoppers, if you will. Native atheists, Sue and Pragmatic are our main kicker outers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, whoever it was, thank you.
Every now and then I got to go bail John Hudson out because he says something, you know, but otherwise, no, they do a fantastic job. I very much appreciate our mods. Obi says boobies are awesome. So awesome, even gay men love them. See? I think that's fantastic.
No, that's not the truth, Terry Taylor. That's not the truth about Hamas. No, they don't. That's not the truth. They just want their land. They just want to live in peace. That's the truth.
You know, that's I think that's true.
Just like there's some people who are bad and hate everybody and want to take opportunity to cause trouble with the peaceful, you know, there's going to be, of course, there's always going to be that person. I'm not saying that it's not a blanket statement. I'm just saying that isn't the truth.
Very true. Well, right now the problem is we've got some really kind of shitty people in power all over the world.
They're the ones who do it.
World.
They're the ones who stoke all of this shit.
Yep. And no matter where we're talking about, whether it be Gaza or Israel or anywhere really, it's hard not to, but we have to try to do our best to avoid blanket accusations. Because like you said earlier, not every Israel is like this. Not every Israeli is like this. Not every Hamas, not every... Now, I can't help but think that part of what Terry said is not wrong. There are probably a percentage of people in Hamas who are there just because they hate Israel, part of the cultural programming we've been talking about. But as a whole, though, the people, all, you know, in general are good people. A lot of it's cultural programming and religion, and then, of course, the need for power. I want to call them right-wing people. I think they're disgusting. Dan D is here, Neuro Geezer.
Yeah,
but too oftentimes, I defend the common Israeli, if you will. My fight is with the Zionists, because I see them as our equivalent to the right-wing nutbags here. Because I don't know shit about them, really, to be honest. That's as close as I can get to an analogy. You know? And then the more Rion talks, the more I learn about what's going on. I had no idea that they did this or they did that.
I just challenge... oh, sorry. I apologize. I know it starts with a T. See my brain, Terry. Terry, I challenge you to also look at evidence from the other side. Why don't you watch some TV from like news shows from Israel and listen to how they speak about me about as an Arab, what they say about me, that I'm a dog, that I can be raped, that I can just be thrown in jail, that I can be killed. Like, just go listen to some of the stuff that's preached there. But does that mean that every person over there means that? No. Again, we got to really be mindful of blanket statements. I know we make them because, it's just easier to do sometimes. But
sometimes, yeah.
There's extremism on both sides. What needs to happen is Israel has to stop killing people who are in a confined space with no protection. Like 15,000 dead kids is fucking weird to still be standing on. But Hamas, 15,000 dead kids, but Hamas. Like, just stop it, please. Right. Find your humanity and just stop.
Right.
Stop stoking that rhetoric. Like, you're putting that rhetoric out there, and that's not the rhetoric we need to focus on. The rhetoric we should focus on is like, hey, stop killing kids.
Yes, I'm looking something up real quick. Just to look at something. Because there are...
And just so Terry, I don't know if Terry knows like some of the history, but Netanyahu's been funneling money to Hamas. Like, he wanted Hamas there. They made sure that nobody else could get in power. Right. And do you understand that the biggest part of the population of Palestine is children? Okay, so most of the people there are children, which means that when Hamas came to power, they didn't even have the right to vote to put them in power. Okay, so they've been stuck to, just like you and me are here looking at Trump like, what the fuck? They're also stuck too. You can't fix that when you're killing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's a lot going on there. It cannot be resolved until we get peace. We need a ceasefire. We need food to be given to them. Like, I've seen the bones sticking out of children. I've seen dead infants because they've been starved. I'm tired of the but Hamas argument. It just reminds me of the Jehovah's Witnesses when they say, but the apostates, but like, stop. I'm like, stop putting labels on people so you can dehumanize them and just kill them.
Right.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that's good. That's good. I like to let you talk and let you do the talking. That
was sorry.
Actually, it says, I feel like the damn morning show would benefit from collaborating with Sir Skeptic on accounting, with them being in direct opposition to Marjorie MGT. Marjorie Trader Green's district in Georgia. Oh, really?
Marjorie.
Really? In direct opposition. So, interesting.
What are you doing, baby?
Dan, okay, with Cyrus the Skeptic. I may have to look into that, see what's going on. Absolutely.
Yes. Operation Olive Branch. Yes.
Now, here in just a minute, we're going to wrap up the show. I am going to, got to head out early. Later, Miss Non Sequitur, I'm fixing to wrap it up too. I'm going to do our live chat here. And then I'm going to, before I wrap the show, I'll play the second Wild Bill song for everybody. We'll let Ryan go after I do the live chats. Don't forget, people, tomorrow, go out, protest. If you can go protest, be peaceful. All we need is numbers. That's all we need is numbers. Jesse Bear for $2 said all the land. Wait, I'm starting at the top. Raven Lunatic says, why are shirts with 8 buttons so mesmerizing? Because you can only fasten 8. Thank you for the $2 super chat or $5 super chat. Secular Feelingness for $5 says, why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. Bagels. I'm in there going, I know I want something to eat. I couldn't find anything to cheap bagels. For $5, Raven Lunatic said, a cop walks into a protest and is immediately called racist. He says, I'm not racist. My wife has a black eye. See, you're vilifying the right people there. That's just kind of all I'm saying,
Yeah.
If you're going to say that about somebody, at least you're saying it about somebody probably. Jesse Bear for $2 says all the links. There's the links. I pinned them earlier at the top. Bill Castle for $5 says war in the Middle East are due to religion. The world would be a better place without religion. Very true. There'd still be power grabs. There'd still be people who crave power and would be willing. All that things would still be, but it would certainly be a much, much, much better place. Raven Lunatic for $10 says the Washington Redskins are changing their name. The negativity, dissent, contempt, discrimination, and hostility associated with their name. From now on, they'll be known simply as the Redskins. That's just, we get it. I get it. I do get it. Shame on Washington. Bad Washington. And, you know, Donald Trump has, my understanding, has some sort of fascination with Andrew Jackson. Thinks he's probably the greatest president or some bullshit, which is a very bad example because Andrew Jackson's the president who presided over killing of millions of Native Americans. So makes sense, though, for Donald Trump.
DTJ.
DJT. DJT. Deviant Outcasts gave us lots of sex. 50 sex, in fact. Said, I just want to give you sex. It's Friday after all. Time to ramp up the sinning in anticipation for the weekend jamboree. We do have lots of sinning and blasphemy to be done this weekend, in fact. Bill Castle for $2 says, God didn't create man, man created God. Thank you for that. Well said. And then Raven Lunatic for $5 says, Chris, do you know the difference between a steak dinner and a blowjob? No. Do you want to go out to lunch tomorrow? Thank you for the $5 super chat, Raven Lunatic. All right, I am going to let Miss Raven go. Thank you, Raven. Damn it. Miss Rion go.
Bye.
And you have a wonderful weekend, Ryan. We'll see you. Now, I might be streaming or doing something tomorrow. Some shit's going to be going on. Keep your eyes open, ears open. Be safe, everybody.
Yeah, if you go to the protest, be safe, please, and be mindful of your phone. Don't have the finger ID, don't have the face ID. Take that off and put it on a digit. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. See you later. All right, everyone. I'm going to throw the newest Wild Bill at you. Thank you very much. I'll be back in just a second to wrap up the show.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. Finally. I'm Wild Bill Wigglestick, and this is my trusty sidekick, Willie the Kid. And we'll be your handsome hosts, your gilded guide, your cowboys, concierges to Shakespeare. Oh, how cute. Wait, is that at 2, Ollie? Run along, little doggy. Bill, where the hell have you been? Well, you know, I've been roaming the earth, going back and forth upon it, to and fro and whatnot. I like to travel too. Wait a second. Yep, back and forth upon earth, doing unto others before they do unto me. Bill, are you quoting the Bible? Trying to quote the Bible? Indeed I am. Despite my appearance, I am a man of culture and know many things, not just Shakespeare. Really? So you have a Shakespeare monologue related to atheism or skepticism? Indeed I do. Bear witness. Oh, this is going to be good. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the product of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence. And all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of whoremaster man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Wow, that really is spot on about what we cover here on the channel, about how, people... So here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, this non-believer, ignores the teachings of his learned father and ends up getting 4 people killed. Bill, that's not... Okay. Carry on. Shakespeare was a heathenistic non-believer bound for the fiery pits of hell, just like yourselves. I don't think. And in order to throw the murderous church of the time off his heathen trail, he writes the skeptic as a sneaking, lying, adulterated father and brother, hating and betraying villain who ends up getting his comeuppance in the end. Bill, oh, come on, man. You're always blah, blah, Bible stuff, blah, blah, boring. You got to spice things up. Bill, tacos are spicy. Everybody loves tacos. Bill, tacos and boobies. Okay, you're not wrong there either. Tasty and delicious culture, baby. Coming at you Avoid the storm of familial discontent. Blow winds and clap your cheeks by clicking that subscribe button and hitting that. Wait a second. Don't you mean crack your cheeks? Nope. Bill. Send safely, my friends. Take care.
Peace.
Whoa. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, my friends. Sin safely. Lots of sinning, lots of blasphemy. Go protest if you can. I may stream tomorrow. I'll definitely be keeping my ear to the ground and checking and keeping an eye on what's going on. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day, my friends. So, sin safely. See you tomorrow. Or Monday.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.